In part 1, we saw what Greenland holds: 36 million tons of rare earth elements, 3 shipping routes worth $500 billion, NATO's northern shield. Now the real question: who will control this treasure, and at what cost? Russia didn't wait. Over the past decade, Moscow increased its Arctic military presence fivefold. The centerpiece: the world's largest icebreaker fleet, more than 40 vessels, 7 of them nuclear-powered. A single nuclear icebreaker cuts through 3 meters of ice like butter. No other nation comes close. The Northern Fleet has been rebuilt. Gajievo Naval Base, just 160 kilometers from the Finnish border, home to Yasen-class attack submarines and Bore-class nuclear missile carriers. Putin's message is explicit: the US will advance its interests in the Arctic. We must respond. Then there's China. Geographically, Beijing has no Arctic claim. The nearest Chinese territory is 1,400 kilometers from the Arctic Circle, yet in 2018, China declared itself a near-Arctic state, a geographic absurdity, a strategic masterstroke. China's strategy is patient and multi-layered: the Polar Silk Road, extending Belt and Road into the Arctic, a 12.5% stake in Greenland's Kvanefjeld mine, billions invested in Russia's Yamal LNG terminal, Northern Sea Route transits, 27 Chinese ships in 2018, 62 in 2020, quiet, patient, systematic. But this is no alliance of trust. In 2025, leaked FSB documents revealed Moscow's concerns: Chinese agents operating under cover of mining companies and universities, conducting espionage across the Arctic. Russia needs Chinese money, China needs Russian resources, but trust between them is zero. A marriage of convenience, nothing more. Washington's approach has shifted entirely. The Monroe Doctrine, 200 years old, has been updated. The Western Hemisphere is America's sphere. Greenland is geographically part of North America. The logic follows. Alaska was purchased in 1867, Louisiana in 1803. Now the argument goes, it's Greenland's turn. The rhetoric has hardened. I don't need international law. We need Greenland, absolutely. It will be ours one way or another, by persuasion or by force. A NATO leader threatening to take territory from another NATO ally, the post-war order shaking. January 17, 2026. In Nuuk, 25% of Greenland's entire population took to the streets. 14,000 people. For an island of 56,000, an unprecedented mobilization. The same day, Washington announced tariffs on 8 NATO allies, 10% in February, 25% by June. Economic warfare had begun. But Europe is not powerless. Ramstein Air Base, America's largest military installation in Europe, sits on German soil. The tech giants depend on European markets. Congress has bipartisan bills blocking any NATO member invasion. And time itself, elections create pressure. Europe has cards to play. And what do Greenlanders themselves want? The polls are clear. 67% support independence, but from Denmark, not to join America. Support for U.S. annexation, just 6%. Support for military intervention among Americans, 4%. Greenland wants to chart its own course, not Copenhagen, not Washington, Nuuk. There's a dimension few discuss. Greenland's ice sheet contains 2.85 million cubic kilometers of frozen water. If it melts completely, and it is melting, global sea levels rise 7 meters. New York, Miami, Shanghai, Mumbai, London, underwater. Currently, 270 billion tons of ice melt every year, and here is the paradox. The melting exposes resources. Resources attract industry. Industry produces emissions. Emissions accelerate melting. Catastrophe creates opportunity. Opportunity deepens catastrophe. A feedback loop with no exit. 4 paths forward. Scenario 1. Economic pressure and compromise. Probability, 50%. No military action, instead tariffs, sanctions, prolonged negotiation. Eventual outcome, de facto American influence without formal annexation. NATO damaged, but standing, the most likely path. Scenario 2, prolonged standoff. Probability, 30%. Europe resists. Trade war deepens. Greenland holds its own independence referendum, joining no one. Uncertainty persists for years. No clear winner, no resolution. Scenario 3, military intervention. Probability, 5 to 10%. Low, but not zero. Consequences, catastrophic. NATO collapses. International law dies. And the domino effect, Russia moves on the Baltics. China moves on Taiwan. A new world disorder, the worst case. Scenario 4, Greenland independence, probability, 10 to 15%. Greenland separates from Denmark but declines US annexation. Instead, a special partnership, the Puerto Rico model. Autonomy with cooperation, everyone saves face, an elegant solution, if politics allows. The Arctic is no longer silent. As ice melts, the map redraws itself. 3 superpowers circle one island. 36 million tons of minerals, $500 billion in trade, 56,000 people caught between giants. Greenland has become the chessboard of the 21st century. The pieces are moving. The game has begun.